Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So listen, before I get started, there are people that I need to thank. I got to say thank you so much to Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much for helping out with the library pantry. I really do appreciate you. You always come through. And I want to say thank you to Deanna. Deanna, same for you. Thank you so much for helping with my library pantry. I appreciate it. And Trenda, thank you so much for helping with the community curbside library pantry. I thank you so much. And Yolanda, same thing. Thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. Okay? Listen. Speaking of the library pantry, I ordered Pop-Tarts yesterday and some other things. I had no idea that they made Boston cream pie Pop-Tarts. Did y'all know that? I wonder how the kids are going to take to that. Anyway, that was just on my mind. That's not really what I want to talk about today, Pop-Tarts. I don't even like Pop-Tarts. But what I want to talk about, did y'all see that plantation in Louisiana? Is it in Louisiana? That's burning to the ground right now. Like I said yesterday, it is a shift. There's a shift. There is. It's a spiritual shift. And the reason why so many of you can't feel it, because so many black people are describing this spiritual shift that we are feeling. And a lot of y'all are not getting it. And let me tell you why you're not getting it. And this is going to be harsh, but it ain't going to be a lie. The reason why y'all not understanding what you're seeing and you're not feeling what the rest of us are feeling is because you have abandoned African spirituality, or you never embraced it, and you are still serving their gods. So you're still feeling things the way that through their filter, the way that they want you to feel those things. You do not have your third eye open, and your ancestors don't talk to you. They don't communicate with you, and that's why you don't see and hear. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. But anyway, speaking of which, let me tell you something that I do. And I used to couldn't do this. I used to want to take all black people along. And, and other black people would tell me, you ain't going to be able to do that. Harriet said we got to just leave some of them behind, and we got to leave them behind. But in reading books, I know that post-traumatic slave syndrome is real. I know that shit is real. And I know that there are so many of us that are still, like I said, part of post-traumatic slave syndrome is you still hold on to their things, their beliefs, their gods. And you're still seeing things through the lens of whiteness, especially faith, instead of through a black lens. And I know that my people are suffering and are traumatized. And so I always felt like it was my responsibility to give my people a certain amount of time to heal and catch up. But now I understand, because my ancestors have pulled me aside and had the conversation with me, that you're going to have to leave them behind. Because it's up to them to find their way, and it's not up to you to make their way for them. They got to figure it out for themselves. And so you got to leave them behind. And then once they had that conversation with me, and I really truly got that was when it was then and only then that I was willing, that I was able to just start letting black folks just go. I mean, some of y'all are easier to let go than others. But remember a couple days ago when I told you about the incident on Mother's Day, by the way, 12 still have not come to my door. And I think I'm okay. Let's hope I'm okay. And I told you that. You'd be surprised at how many comments I erased from black people who were defending him. And even if they were vilifying my act and trying to shame me, that is still, in a way, defending them. Not even having the full details of what this man did, they saw me as the problem. I blocked every single last one of those black folks. One person even told me it could have been at that moment that your brakes went out. They didn't. And yet you're still coming up with even a hypothetical to hold me accountable for his actions. Even a hypothetical situation you're creating in order to defend him, to defend whiteness. Because somewhere in your brain, your default is not on black first. And so white people have trained us to see ourselves as the problem. And a lot of y'all believe that we are the problem. And that you have to try to control other black people for the benefit of white people and their comfort and their safety when they out here doing shit that ain't safe. Case in point, this whole situation that's going on with black people and gingers, the most ridiculous shit that I have seen in a long time. Gingers, redheaded white people are not black. They are not black. I don't care what gene or chromosome or whatever it is they may share with black people. These are white people who have benefited from white supremacy, and they are racist too. Y'all are always trying somehow, a lot of you, to either fit in with them or make them fit in with us. And it don't work that way. And when you do that, you are a threat, a direct threat to the whole entire black community. You cook out inviting people, you people inviting white people constantly into black spaces where they show up, and they eventually be harmful, because I knew that that's what's going to happen, that was what was going to happen, because isn't it always? Isn't it always? You invite them to the cookout, you invite them to the dance, you invite them into the culture, and then they show up and then they proceed to be harmful because they are still racist. Even though you like that two-step they did, they still racist. Even though you like that AAVE they speak, they're still racist. Even though you find out that you may share a gene with a redheaded one, they are still racist. They're still racist. And then black people like myself who try to cultivate these spaces for us, look at y'all with a side eye, and then we have to leave you behind because you ain't learned better yet. You still out here bowing down to white people, defending white people, siding with white people, taking up for white people, making sure white people comfortable, making sure you're not problematic, making sure that you make yourself as small as possible whenever you're in their spaces, and trying to force other black people into that subservient behavior as well. And to that, I say, hell no. I will not be doing anything that comforts white people. I will not be doing anything that puts white people over black people. I will not be behaving like a slave for white people. We got to leave y'all behind. And hopefully you catch up one day. Hopefully you see the error of your ways. But if not, you don't. And you know who else we got to leave behind while we leaving behind black people? I just spoke him up yesterday. It's like I just spoke him up. Chris Brown. Still way too many black people defending that thug. And I don't use that word lightly when I describe a black man. I don't. Because I know how that word has been weaponized against him. But he is a thug, an abusive thug in every sense of the word. And y'all still defending this man. And now DDG. Look at how many of y'all are defending him. Because not only have you all been taught by white people to put them ahead of yourselves and your own community and your own people, and you do that in a million little fucked up ways, but the patriarchy, white patriarchy, has also taught you to do the same thing when it comes to men. Someone in the group, I put a meme up over in the room not too long ago. And the meme was created by a black man who was holding other black men accountable. And she went into this whole diatribe about how we are always coming down on, how black people, we're always coming down on black men and they get attacked and blah, 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 blah. I ended up booting her out of the group. She was the first and only person that I ever put out of the group. Because it's the way y'all will sit up in the black community and defend problematic black men under the guise of defending blackness. Nobody is attacking black men. We are holding black men, the collective of the black community, accountable for their actions, for their abuses. Because no black man in that group was offended. She was the only mammy in the group that was defending this meme that, mind you again, a black man created, that held other black men to account. And if black men can't hold black men to account, who in the fuck can? Who can? We say we want them to hold one another accountable, and then what do? So do we want good black men to step up and hold the bad black men, the irresponsible black men, the black men who harm the community accountable, or don't we? Accountability is not an attack. The only time accountability feels like an attack is when you need to be held accountable. That's the only time that accountability feels like an attack. And I guarantee you, because this is the way the mind of black women who are male-centered think. I guarantee you she raised black sons that was just like that meme. I guarantee you. And it wasn't black men in general that she was defending, but it was her black sons who she didn't raise and guide into betterment that she was defending. Black men who was doing the exact same thing that black man in that meme said. We got to leave all of you black people behind. I used to think, yes, that there was a time when we need to just be patient with y'all. But time has run out. And y'all got to pick a side. And if you going to side with your community, uplift your community, help to prepare your community forward, you're going to have to figure out how to do that without being problematic to your community. A lot of you black women are still very much male-centered because you have some internalized misogyny that you have not dealt with. Black men from way back have taught black women the same things that white men have taught white women, because that's what patriarchy does. And it trains us to defend them, not hold them accountable, and believe them. And y'all are going to have to figure out how to deconstruct from that. And the rest of us are going to have to leave y'all be while y'all figure out how to deconstruct from that. And then there's your internalized racism that's fucking the rest of us up too. The way y'all always sucking the shit out of the asses of white people. And swallowing in joy and glee. And then tap dancing afterwards. We gotta let y'all go. Because y'all doing too much, baby. Y'all doing way too much. We gotta give y'all some time to figure out how to love being black and how to love other black people. I don't think nobody can teach you that. I think that that's a reality that you just gonna have to walk yourself into. Real talk. We gotta start divesting, y'all. We gotta start divesting from these types of black people. Every black person that came down my timeline that was talking about that ginger shit, I blocked. Every single last one of them. You're not getting a shred of my support. Not a view, not a like, not a share, not a nothing. Nothing. I'm giving you fucking nothing. They don't even come down my timeline no more. That's how much the algorithm knows that I can't stand you. For always figuring out a way to choose them over us. To choose them over yourselves, your own dignity, your own pride, your own blackness. You should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all done went from inviting them to the cookout to literally giving them black cars. And then they show up and they use the N-word with a hard ER and you're shocked. Sit yourself down in a room in a dark corner and meditate and pray on why you need them so badly. And why you want them so badly. And why you want them to love you so badly. And why you need that pat on your head or your back from them so badly. I am deeply, deeply, deeply ashamed of you and embarrassed. I am embarrassed by your black ass. We're going to have to divest of them too. Because the spiritual shift will not be held up. And it waits for no one. That is all that I have. If you would like to donate to this platform, I will leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. If you would just like to buy me a cup of coffee, or if you would like to support the library pantry and all these kids in our community whose videos you enjoy seeing, their happiness, their surprise, I will leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comments. Have a great day. Be righteous. Do something nice for someone. And I hope something I said made you think today.